Hello, everyone. My name is JD Calderon, and this is Indy Comics Explained. And yet again, I brought another fantastic group of independent comic book creators. So please hit like, hit subscribe, share through the video, let everybody know we're here. And once again, I got this guy.
What? What's up, brother? How we doing? I am JD Rosario from Unstoppable Comics. Been making books since 2008. Hanging out with this guy a little while after that, and talking to a bunch of talented creators about the books that they have been making on their own, without support from major sponsors, major VC money, and maybe without rich uncles, right? They're out here putting their money where their mouth is.
That's right. Oh, yeah, and one last thing. DM Ray, in your face. Anyway. Holy shit. Tom,
like Rosario coming in like it's his show, trying to one up the promo from the
Damn
show.
Right. Damn, bro, like Super Mario. You know what I mean? One up and all day, baby.
But next time he's gonna come in here, just what's up, Streamland? He's gonna bring like his show into your show. It's like worlds are colliding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, listen, if anybody mentions Laser Blast tonight, it's over. It's over. There goes the whole stream.
You just mentioned it.
Yeah, but I mean, if anybody else but me, like I never refer to it on my stream. It's usually you two knuckleheads that bring it up first.
Listen.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
flipping.
Right. Don't make me pull out the toy, bro. It's right there.
Listen, you got guests.
Right
Bring
there.
them out.
Right there. Okay, let's look at that. Sean, how you doing?
I'm good. How are y'all?
We're good. Sean, you got a lot of toys back there, bro.
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of nice ones.
No laser blast back there.
That's right. I got this, though. Anyway.
Son of a mother.
All right.
I get this stuff. I like the Sentinel back there, Sean.
Thank you.
Yeah. What was that? Oh, yes, very nice. Yes.
Yeah, I got my Sentinel too far away.
Right, and it's Mark's time. Mark, please introduce yourself.
My favorite toy.
There you go.
That's that Mecha Spawn.
Yeah.
Mecha Spawn.
That's right. That's my favorite joint. It's Mark Dudley. I call myself the big brother of Magno's Workshop because I hate the term CEO. I'm the art director over at Shiny Taku Comics, and I'm working on my own web comic, soon to be probably major print comic, Judas 7 Deaths of the Yobi. We're gonna have the link in the chat later on. I love being here. You have a lot of fun.
My man. Cool. Sherrard, please introduce yourself. Hello.
I'm Sherrard Jackson, the creator of Darby, and previous works include Assembly, Galaxies for Hire, and of course Semantic Lace. All indie made, all me.
All right, cool. Nick.
Hi guys, I'm Nick Caponi. You probably recognize me as your friendly neighborhood comic book colorist from New Jersey. But I'm also the president of Sky Main Studios, and I'm also the creator of Purity.
Oh, man.
Right, cool. Dan, how you doing? Please introduce
yourself. I can't hear a damn thing.
We can hear you though. You can't hear us?
Shit. I can't hear nothing.
We can hear you, Dan. We can hear you.
It's that con comment that blew his whole sound out.
I guess so. There you go. He's probably gonna have to log back in. All right, gentlemen, you all see this. You've all seen the show question. Do you intend on finishing your series? And because there's always a second half to these questions, how long do you intend for it to take you? Right? Because there's some folks, we've heard them. They come on here. They're like, "Yo, I got my mega epic. It's 200 issues, and but I've only released 3 issues in the last 4 years. So I'm like, all right, I'll see you in the next century. By the time you're done. All right, but hold on. Dan is back. Dan, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir. Please introduce yourself.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name's Dan Barlow. Writer, wannabe writer, artist, creator of several titles for Mind Grind Comics since 2022. And I've been doing freelance comic art for like the last 20 years for a lot of indies and small press. So here in Dayton, Ohio.
All right, cool. All right, so we were starting off with the show question. Dan, do you intend on finishing your series? And like I said, the second half of the question is, how long do you expect it to take you? Because, you know, I was explaining to everyone, we've all heard of these people that come in, they're like, I have my 300 issue epic, right? And I've released 4 issues in the last 5 years.
He's calling you out, Rosario. He's calling you out.
Yes.
You know, he's one of many. But yeah, so that's the question. Dan, you last man in, first man up. So, you know, you're up.
Yeah. So right now, the series that I started with, The Devil's Contract, I'm working on issue 6 right now, and I'm trying to tie the story arc up in 8 issues. Issue 6 is almost done, and then I'm going to put that out there. There's a couple short stories of some of the characters, like side stories, that I wanted to put out there as well, and then move on from that onto a couple other projects I have going on, including my latest project, Frank Gunn, which is Frankenstein's monster in World War II. We got the campaign going on for that right now, and that's scheduled to be 4 issues. Try to test the waters, see how it does, see if people like it, what the feedback is, and so that's the game plan. If the feedback is people want more Devil's Contract, then I'll go back and do that as well. There's always other stories to throw in there in that universe, so that's kind of the game plan right now. But you know, try not to take on too much, and I normally don't. I try to stay away from the Hollywood talk, saying I can do this and do that. I see a lot of people that want to make comics talk a big game, and how they got this epic 100-issue shit planned, and you just, as soon as they start talking like that, I just check out. I don't believe most of that stuff anyways. So
all right, cool. Nick, what are your thoughts?
I kind of went in with Purity as like, I knew I always wanted to be a 15 issue series. Now the thing, the way I crafted it, it kind of just surrounds Satan. Satan is just kind of like that anchor in the universe. So I was thinking of doing, like, after 15 issues of Purity, as like what Dan mentioned, and I want to expand the universe a little bit, with Satan being like that that, you know, common anchor in like everyone's story, that like if there's like a villain, or there's always going to be an underworld of some sort in the universe in general. So it kind of opens the door for that. But Purity, her standalone series, is definitely like 15 issues. I already wrote the ending for it. And then we're launching issue 5 first quarter of 27. So technically like 10 issues left I have, but I'm gunning for it.
All right, cool. Now, Lau, how long do you think it's going to take you to get to that last issue?
My goal is by like 2030. So 3 years. If I could keep it, like, if I can keep maybe like 3 new issues of Purity a year on top of the other things I'm putting out, I think I could hit it, but I have to really at least 3 issues.
Gotcha. All right, cool. Listen, that's fair. At least you got a plan.
Good, thank you.
You know what I mean? I mean, that's important, right?
Yeah. It was definitely this was the most planned out story I've ever written, because a lot of the books, and I'm very guilty for saying this, is sometimes the books I'd done in the past were kind of like I was like writing them as I went, and then I would get stuck. But Purity, on the other hand, I went in writing a beginning, middle, and end before I started drafting like issue 1, issue 2, issue 3. Like I have like a 5-page essay of what I want to happen. So yeah.
Cool. Sean.
Yeah. So I have 3 different series right now. Today's I'm talking about is the Recon Universe one shots. So I plan on doing 4 one shots of this universe. I already have number 3 written. So as soon as we fund this one, then my artist will be going into number 3 on that one. And we already planned for December. He's going to do the art for the 4th one, and that'll be done with the Recon universe. I could always go back to it. The way I have the one shots, really, it could branch out each one shot into like a 4-issue miniseries if I wanted to, or if it was popular enough to continue, kind of thing. But that's the plan right now: is 4 issues and a trade for that one. My Scaled Key, which was from the Hospice universe, it was originally planned as 3 issues. The first one's done. I already have the second one written. We haven't done the art yet, but I could do that one. Really 2 more in a year when I get to it. Right now, the Recon is the focus for this year. And then the Fog Within, I have originally planned. That was my first issue I ever wrote. Everything is already outlined. Most of the scripts are already done. And I planned it to be 12 issues. And we're already almost done with the 5th issue. And this is only 3 years into writing in general. So that one be a little bit longer because that'll be spread out between the Recon and the Scaled Key issues. Just trying to go back and forth, keep artists going on the different things so I can continue on doing like 3 or 4 at least Kickstarters a year. And yeah, so that one's take a little bit longer, but that's what I'm focused on right now is the smaller stuff and trickling in the Fog Within in between all that to continue on. So,
all right, cool. Mr. Dudley.
Yeah, man. There's some developments occurred that's putting the wind in the back of my sails finally, as it relates to Judah Fest. I'm trying to. I'm talking to some people about actually picking it up. So obviously, you know, when you get that letter of intent, you got to get it done. So I'm planning on doing 7 graphic novels because the people I'm working with only do graphic novels, right? So there'll probably be 3 chapters apiece. And so I'm looking to have them done by 2030. So it's gonna be 7 graphic novels, yeah. So I'm trying to get 2 done a year after summer. Know what I mean? Like 90 pages here and there, right there. So I think it's doable. You know, as we discussed during the time when I was on you guys, what I call a rehabilitation show. I've started to work on my time scheduling, man, a lot better. So that's been helping out a lot. And you know, I'm starting to parse a lot of my responsibilities over here. Imagine those to the younger members, because you know you want to bring them up for later. I'm not gonna be doing it forever, obviously, right? So, yeah. So Judah Fest, I'm working on. That'll be again. Even if I don't get it picked up, it'll be done by 2030, because I don't have all the time on Earth, right? Obviously,
right.
Because I got other stuff I want to do. I got some characters that are going to be appearing in a book I'm shepherding called Venus Moon. Basically, it's it's what do you want to call it? It's Cosmic Marvel meets K-pop Demon Hunters. A lot of music involved. The person I'm doing it with, she's a singer, so she has a lot of music involved in the comic and stuff. That's really cool. And like I said, I got a character called Galaxy Goddess that I came up with a long time ago. That's going to be debuting in that comic, but my buddy Dave is going to be writing it when we do that comic. So I'm not even going to be drawing. I'm going to pay somebody else to draw that. So, yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
Sounds like you got a full plate. Sounds good.
Yeah, you know, that's just, hey, what they say, slow motion is no motion. No.
True. Sherrod, what are your thoughts?
With me, the series that I was working on, Darby, its series itself is completed. It was on Webtoon for the last 7 years or so, and currently, when the process of doing Kickstarters for the volumes from the series. Right now, we're doing the Kickstarter for volume 2 and 3. This being done through Kickstarter and Rocket Ship Entertainment. And the goal is to do the rest of the series, so split up into like 5 seasons. Is to do the rest of the 4 seasons as a series of graphic novels. So, yeah, with luck, there'll be possibly like 2 or 3 per year, you know, over the next 4 or 5 years. yeah, in the meantime, I'm working on a new series. Just started it recently. It's called Balls Deep. It's going to be on Webtoons and on Webtoon Canvas and Tapastic. So yeah, with that one, it's just like an ongoing rom-com. We'll see what happens with it.
Cool. What was it called?
Balls Deep.
That's what I thought. I was wondering if I heard that wrong. I was just
yeah.
Rosario knows what it's called.
Oh yeah, it's all one word.
Yeah, that's fine. Cool. Tom, what are your thoughts?
So I have three series. I have 3 series that all have designed finishes. And then there's other books that have come along that are more just sort of open-ended. We can just kind of tell stories until we just decide we don't want to tell stories anymore. But with Penny for Your Soul was always designed to be 7 issue miniseries to go through each sign of the apocalypse, all the way down to, Revelation and doing all that kind of stuff. So that's still the plan. And then we've been doing like little spin-offs from time to time. We had a Joan of Arc spin-off, Mary Magdalene, stuff like that. So it wasn't like we just went straight through those 7, but we've done the first 4. So that only leaves us with 3 of those left. But everything is different now. When we started, we used to do these monthly books and send them out through Diamond, and we were in that system, and everything was moving fast. But now with Kickstarter being our primary method of doing all this stuff, everything is sort of forced to slow down. So with that, then we have Critter, of course, which I fully have always planned to get to issue 100 on that book. That was sort of like the built into the story concept is where do we get how does this character land after that at that 100th issue. And then Legend of Oz has a finale, and so does Ursa Minor. So I guess there's 4 titles that I have like specific endings for. And I was thinking about this the other day, actually, a couple weeks ago. I was like, I got to get some of this finished. Because if I get it finished, it gets off my plate and I can focus more on the other products that need to be finished. So, like Ursa Minor, I was looking at it like, okay, if I paste this out and I tried to figure out like where would I need it to go to end, how many issues and so on. I was like, all right, so we'd have this and this and this, and it would be like 3 volumes of 3 like hardcovers of like 3 volumes. So it'd be like 9 volumes and 3 hardcovers. Like the omnibus thing is in my brain now. So it's it's weird because that's dictating to some degree because that's in my head. Like I can't have like 3 volumes in one and 4 volumes in one and then like 2. Like no, it's 3 and it's 3 and it's 3. Like that's just the way my head works. It has to be that way. That ADHD and OCD is like kicking in too hard. But within that context, I was like, okay, so if I did this is how long it would take. Currently, as how I do Kickstarter, but if I modified Kickstarters, like we've all kind of moved away from 4 weeks down to like 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at this as like, do I just do 2-week campaigns and just start turning and burning this stuff? Like less concern about playing the game of this stuff. Like, oh, we hit this much and we hit this much. Just go, man. We're already at a point where we know we're funding this stuff. We already see the situations of like, we have this first opening weekend that's usually good. It flattens out for a week or 2, and then we have a big finish at the end. So screw the middle. Just take out that middleman and just say, look, it's 2 weeks, guys. This is it. We start on a Sunday, we end on a Saturday. 2 weeks later, we're in, we're out, we're done. Move on to the next thing. So that's kind of part of where I'm looking at all of this. But then the other part of it is that I've been struggling with is just maintaining artists on these books. Mm-hmm. Just in the last couple of years, I have had so many guys flake on me. It's driving me up a fucking wall. I went like 10 years with guys that were like consistent and with me, and here they are, and here they are. And then when those guys moved on to like Image and Marvel and stuff, and I had to replace them, it has been borderline impossible to get anybody past about 3 or 4 issues. And for me, the consistency of the art is part of what I do. So I keep trying to reach out, like, guys, I'm trying to make you a part of what we do. Like, this isn't just me going like, hey, do you need a job for 6 months? And then you go off somewhere else. But that just seems to be what like art is now. It's just like, it's just a job, and then they're on moving on. Job and it's moving on. That's really hard to lock in people to be like, I want you to be here. I want you to be recognized with this book, right? But that's really hard. Just in the past 6 months, I've had 3 artists drop out on me right before they were supposed to start doing the book, which made me scramble and have to go find somebody else. And it makes me late because those guys hosed me. So that's the part that I'm really struggling with, more so than anything else. But, you know, there are plans in place that, you know, if I focus on this, we can knock it out in 3 or 4 years. And along the way, we do other things, and that time would get shorter and shorter and shorter. So, you know, I kind of look at it as if I took the next 10 years, we could wrap up a couple of series and really have the others well underway if we can maintain artists, and if we modify the Kickstarter thing from playing game shows to just being like, we need to fund this, we need to put this out into the world, and just get content happening.
Hey, Tom, quick question on those 3 artists. Were they full-time artists? Or were they part-time artists who had to work another job? Just curious.
One is a full-time artist who was desperate for work, and I gave it to him. One was an artist who was a previous guy of mine who I reached out to, and I was like, come back. It's just, that one was just a short-term project. I was like, look, this is just 10 pages. We'd love to have you come back and be part of what you've done before. And he was like, great. And then dropped out. And then third one wanted more money. He's like, well, I can do it, but I need like twice my page rate. I'm like, nope, that's not happening. You know, so it's always something in the matrix that gums it up. And I always find somebody to pick up the spot, but you know, that's not the way that I want to do it. I want to have a consistent, like, I want this guy to be, you know, I tell people, I want this to be your book. I want people to pick up this book and go, oh, that's that guy. I know that art, and I know I'm familiar with it, and he's been doing it for a period of time, and you know, you can watch him grow into the series and get better and better. Like, that's what I want to do. And I only have one artist who has still been with me from the very beginning, and that's JB Neto, who does Penny for Your Soul. He's still doing it with me now. But everyone else, now again, FICO ran like 20 issues, and he had to go do other stuff. Okay, that's fine. You know, Allison Borges did like 20 issues again on Oz. Okay, you know, I'm never going to keep everybody forever. But as soon as I had to start doing the replacement, it was like a whole different world of like where these artists exist, and it's been difficult.
Wow.
All right, cool. Jay, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I have finished series. What's the plural on series? Is it serii? No bites. Thanks.
Just
move on. Just move on. Move on.
Rosario series.
No, so I plan my stuff as miniseries, right? Let me complete the arc. Let me get that done. Let me tell that story. And if people bite on it, I'll keep moving. Like Shield of the Interceptor, I did 2 mini arcs, right? And I combined that into one trade. People bid on it, so I am doing a 4-issue follow-up to that, right? And that's a full arc. Curse of the Dragonstorm, that was a 3-issue mini. Unstoppable Origins, that was a 4-issue mini. New York versus the World, that's going to be a 5-issue mini. We're working on 4 right now. The Dead Princess Vicky. Oh, excuse me, the Storm Chasers, the thing I started off with, that was an 8-issue mini. That's done, or maxi. What do you want to call it, that one? The Dead Princess Vicky Sticks, trying to push that to 6 issues, and if it keeps on growing, I'm going to keep going with it. But like it was said over here before, I finish up the arc. I put it to the side so that way I have room to work on something else because the plates are always spinning. The mind is always fucking running. I can't sleep at night without having to exercise some demon in my mind that'll give me any chance to close my shut my eyes. But yeah, the delay, like Tom says, also comes from my collaborators. Vicky Sticks, I had a fucking problem with, right? The very first issue, I had somebody run, and after that was done, he went to go work with Valiant. Then I had somebody that we thought was going to be locked in, a professional who wanted the top dollar, and he got 11 pages done of 3 issues, and it was like fuck. But in a way, it was good that it happened because I took it in a totally different direction than what I had ready for him. So it kind of worked out in my benefit, even though it took him almost 2 years to get out fucking 11 goddamn pages.
This guy was a pro.
This guy was a pro who wanted.
No.
Oh yeah.
He's not a professional.
No.
He was a really good artist who worked at Marvel and DC.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Who was a pro, well,
he was a pro grifter.
Well, I guess, yeah. That would probably be, the best way to put
right?
it. Yeah. Because professional means that he would have gotten the job done. Because he's a professional.
Okay, fair enough.
Professionals do.
Excuse me. He has legitimate credits with established industries. Okay, because it wasn't just comics he had done, right? He had done DVD covers and stuff that he was really psyched for. But yeah, man, that's frustrating. And when you got your money tied up in a project that delays other projects, right, that you need to pay for. Yeah. Especially when they grab you on that top fucking dollar charge, right? And you think that's going to legitimize you as well.
Yeah.
And you pay them in advance.
Yeah.
I got caught with the.
I mean,
with the blah, 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 shut the fuck up. That's what I got caught. And that's why I got a chip on my shoulder. Right? I don't want to. I don't want to be a fucking asshole. I don't want to be a dick to some people. Right? But I'm tired of getting burnt. I'm tired of my work not getting out there. Yes. Do I have fucking delays? Like a son of a bitch. Right? But it's not always my fault. Most of the time, it's not my fault. The work is there. The money is there. Right? It's always, oh, well, while I'm doing these pages, I'm also going to be doing pages for this guy. And then it turns into, oh, I got contracted by one of the majors and I'm going to have to finish, the last 6 pages of your thing. And you're like, consistency is key. Not just, not just from issue to issue, but from page to motherfucking page, man.
Right.
And from what it sounds like too, like at the very end, if they owe you like, say, like 5 pages and they're doing all the other gigs, they're definitely going to like hack out your pages, which is the most frustrating thing ever.
Oh yeah, bro. That's come back too.
But
job.
Yeah, like so in my personal, because like even as a colorist, I've experienced that in like weird avenues because like I've been on books where like the penciler has gone AWOL and then the inker has to play catch up and then the inker just suddenly just falls through. And then everything is on my shoulder, and all of a sudden I have to color like a 22-page issue in a week. And so I've seen that. But one gig I remember working on, the writer did it very well, where he put it in writing. He made agreements for the whole team, and they're required to have like 2 to 3 pages of whatever their job was a week. And they gave them a calendar. They gave them a whole schedule. And there was like a weird warning system of it. Like, the first strike, just a little slap on the wrist. Second strike, production was delayed. Third strike, you're thrown off the book. And I've actually utilized that method with all my projects where I hire artists on. And some might say it's like kind of being a little bit of a control freak, but it kind of keeps those artists that I've hired accountable and like on their toes a little bit. And it's reduced, I wouldn't say completely eradicated, but it's reduced that issue for me where I just have it in writing and I always revert back to that schedule, be like, hey, you agreed to this, just FYI, like,
yeah,
you know.
It's been my experience that I always found that you have to set hard deadlines.
Yes.
Speaking as an artist and a writer myself, it's like any work that I've done where like for a client that said just turn it in whenever. For me, that's going to be whenever I can get it done. But if I know that the client needs it done in a month, then come hell or high water, it's going to get done in a month.
Yeah,
because that's for sure a hard deadline. That's when it has to go to print. Even like this, even if you have set a deadline where you have like built in like a built-in 2-week buffer time, saying that you want them to turn it in like March 13th, but in reality it needs to be done at the end of March. At least that lets the artist know that, hey, this is the hard deadline. You get it in here. Then it'll come out. And even if they missed that deadline by like a couple of days, then at least you know that, hey, this work's still getting done according to plan.
Okay.
No, I come from right.
Yeah. And also, what else? Yeah. The deadlines. What you've implemented already with your schedule and the tiers that works really well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I come from role playing games, so those deadlines are super hard. You remember probably with Sherrod?
Oh yeah. Yes, indeed.
Them was hard. Wasn't no playing around, so you had to get them done. So I take that to comics and stuff too. Even though I'm doing my own comic, nowadays I know, hey, I got only this 24 hours in the day. I got to get this done, then this done, and this done, and I can't be mucking around, man. So
that's right.
Got to self-police, in other words.
Oh, that's all of us. Jay, were you done?
I'm done.
Okay, cool. To answer the question for myself, well, for the Oswald Chronicles, like I said, I finished writing the series, so that part of it is done. Now it's just a matter of just getting all the artwork done, which I'm working through. So I think I got 2 more stories that need to get finished by the current artist, and then we're gonna move on to the 3rd arc, and then that'll be the final arc. But there's 14 stories in that. And it's going to be a lot of pages, but we're just going to keep trucking on as we go. What is it? I think I got my 8th graphic novel coming in this week, and then I'll probably be launching the next one after that in a couple months. By the end of this, I have no idea. I'll probably have 30 of them by the time I'm done. But
when are they gonna be done? When?
Oh, well, I would like to get it all done by 2030. I think that's definitely a date, either the 2030 or 2031, somewhere in that area, because I gave myself a hard deadline of when I turned 55. I wanted to have all the stories done. I finished it when I was 54, actually. So I got that done in time. So I would like to get the entire series done by the time I'm 61, 62. So that's where I'm at. So we'll see. We'll see.
There you
go. Magi's Grace. The final issue is already illustrated. I just got to get that colored and released. That'll happen later on this year. Dreamweavers. That one's a tough nut because I have my artist and I love him, but my man's a flake. Shit, man. I don't know. Like he's a good dude. Been out of the game for a minute. But I tried to set up something with him for like 1 week. 1 page a week. Give me 1 page a week. It says we can do 2 issues a year. 1 page a week. It's just not there. Right, we'll see what happens.
1 complete page, pencils, inks, and colors.
No, just pen and ink. Just pen and ink. Mm. Yeah, just pen and ink, and just give me that. And it's by this point I should have had the 4th issue done and probably been halfway through the 2nd issue, but
yeah,
I've seen the layouts. They look good. So, and mind you, this is somebody I've known for 35 years.
Right. So that's
what I mean. So it's just like I'm gonna.
I think he's playing that friend card.
No, because maybe.
Well, you know him intimately. How he doing, right. What he does. Yeah, I get you.
Exactly. I mean, this is the person I did Tenchi with. I did La Bluga with. This is Matt Luster. I mean, we've been up and down the roads. He's gotten me work. I've gotten him work. Right. So I mean, it's difficult for me to just kick him in the dick. You know what I mean?
Well, he got my wife like to say he got a day job too, right?
Well, he has a day job. He has a day job that everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm like 1 page a week. Yeah. I was like 1 page a week you should be able to swing. And even he agreed to that. So, and I'm paying him top dollar for it.
Right. But again, man, for real, all joking aside, these day jobs are MF, buddy.
I know.
I work IT. It's like a babysitting job and a fireman job at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Dealing with all that little craziness. You get home, you be like, damn, shit. Yeah. Computer, the last thing you want to look at. Pen and paper, you want to look at.
Right. I mean, I'm a manager for like 19 different people. So it's like, you're constantly babysitting. That's all it is. But it is what it is. Tall Tales. So Daphne has to finish the last 2 issues to the current arc. Once that's done, I will begin writing the last arc. Because I told her I'm not writing it till you're done with the second arc.
Man, you over putting the Daphne on blast, man. She gonna keep
on blast. She's probably. She knows
where you live. On the couch tonight.
Okay.
No, he's sleeping under the couch tonight, Jack.
Right, probably. I probably have to sleep in the basement. But I mean, she knows the deal. I mean, and the thing is, she's working on her own series, and I was like, all right, finish your series. Finish your series first, and then we'll move on with the other one. That's all. It's simple. That's it. But but yes, I have every intention of finishing this stuff. But like I said, I would like to get everything wrapped up and done by the time like 65, and then I'll start working on other things. Between here and there. So we'll see. All right. Actually, you know what? I didn't even work up a pithy anything. Because normally I do something. But but what we got now is recon. Here we go. Sean, please walk us through it.
Yep. So Recon the Wild One is my second one shot in this Recon universe. It's robots versus zombies protecting my daughter. And she's the last girl on Earth, and she has her stuffed bunny. So the whole idea that came from this was I was talking to another creator. He said I should be writing something else, and I wanted to write something emotionally tied to me. And so I wanted to write something for my daughter, showing that I'll protect her as the father. And my son, he's got this quirky attitude. So we kind of mixed me and him as the robot, Recon, which is you see there in the cover. And so the first one was my daughter at her age now, when she's 5, with her stuffed bunny. It's actually her bunny that she sleeps with every night. And then the second one is actually she's grown up. It's 12 years later, and she's out there to protect Recon. She has to save him from something. I don't really explain it too much in the Kickstarter itself right now, but she is a strong leader. She's fearless, as you can see there, going after the squirrel and the robots at the same time. And so I just wanted to show her that that I'll protect her in the first one. Second one, she's there for me. She's going to protect me in the future, basically. The third one is going to lead into the origin of this universe, how the zombies came to be, the robot versus zombie war. And then there's going to be a finale that's going to culminate all 3 one-shots into one big thing. So there's Easter eggs from each one that will culminate in the final issue. So it's a little different one-shot wise, but it's been a lot of fun. Dave Schwartz is my artist. He's amazing at what he does, super fast. He does all of the pencils, inks, and colors. And we finished this back in December, so it's even lettered and everything. The only thing we got to change on it is the zombies added to it. I have where you can become a zombie in the book. I think there's 2 out of the 4 already picked up so far. And once we have that, I'll go straight to printing, and then we'll go into the third issue. Basically, this one is funding the next issue. So once this is done, we'll go into that one, and then I'll go live with the third one, hopefully in September as well. So,
all right, cool. Yeah, man. I mean, it looks, it looks great. I mean, it's fantastic. I love the stories.
Appreciate it.
You got another 4 days. You got a few bucks you got to make up, but I don't think you're gonna have an issue. So everybody, go check out Recon.
Yeah, and one thing too that I have, I put out to the followers is basically if we get to 3,500 tomorrow night by midnight, I'm gonna reveal another character. So I gave a little teaser of a new page on one of the updates and out on the socials. And if we get to that, then I'll be showing this new character that's a pretty cool one that I've had in my back pocket for a while.
All right, cool, very nice, very nice. I like it. Go check it out.
That's good.
Thank you.
All right. Judah Fist. Mark, talk to me.
So Judah Fist is my webcomic. Right now, it follows Amaru Jones, who's used to being a weapon for other people. He wakes up in the future, finds out he has relatives left in the form of 3 young nieces and nephews. And so he has to get them out of the social services system. So he wants to do one last job. To do that, job goes awry, and he ends up owing a bounty hunter group, which he ends up joining in the first chapter. Yeah.
Very nice. Now you said you're looking to release this.
Yeah, I'm gonna. So basically, right now it's a webcomic. So I'm putting new pages. I got 3 new pages coming up in the next 2 weeks. They're already done, just waiting on to get lettered. And I'm going to. So what I do is I put it out by volume right now. So I'm by chapter. So this chapter 1's out already in hard copy. Chapter 2 I'm working on right now. Chapter 3 I'll go ahead when I get chapter 3 done. Or better, actually, when I get chapter 2 done, I'll do a Kickstarter to get it all colored. Then just go ahead and knock chapter 3 out, and then I'll put it out as my first volume, which is going to be a graphic novel. And I'll be doing that before the year 2026 is out.
Gotcha. Very nice. All right, I like it. And then what's the website?
It is. I think I got it on here on the. Do I have it on here or no?
JudahFist.com.
Yep. JudahFistTheComicSeries.com. JudahFistTheComicSeries.com. Yep.
I like it in black and white with the gray tones. I don't know if it needs color, man.
And man, look, I'm a color. I'm from the '90s, man. I gotta have some color, bro.
Okay. It looks good, though.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing is, here's the sad thing about it. I prefer, I like black and white too. But man, if you really want to make any type of an impact, it has to be in color.
You guys ever read Lone Wolf and Cub 2100?
No, I read the Lone Wolf and Cub.
Yeah, it came out from Dark Horse, dude. This guy, he used to do. I can't remember what comic he did. Jose Luis Velasco did this book, right? That colors are gorgeous, and that's what made me really want to be like, hey man, I gotta color this book, bro. Gotcha. So if you guys get a chance, go look at Lone Wolf and Cub 2100.
2100.
Nice.
All right.
Dark Horse put it out.
All right.
Darby. All right.
Darby.
Oh yeah, Darby is.
Do you want me to play this video?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. And that's how we do it.
Walk us through it. What are we looking at?
Darby, it's my series. It's a dinosaur action series. The gist of it is a story about a baby T-Rex named Darby and his family and how they survived the savage land. It's got a lot of action, a lot of foul language in it. it's really fun and everything, but that's just the surface. The underlying themes of the series are family, identity, trauma, and how they define you. And we're doing this Kickstarter here, as I mentioned before. We're doing the volumes 2 and 3. With that on top of volume 1 that completes the first season of Darby. There's 5 seasons in total, and the Kickstarter now it's got like about 3 days left in it. And of course after the Kickstarter's done, if you want to order the first volume, you can find the link through my Instagram bio, and also on the Rack Ship Entertainment's page, and you can get the volume, and also reserve your volumes 2 and 3 through the Kickstarter.
All right, cool. Now, how long have you been working on the series?
The series, let me see. It got started around like 2016 or 2017. So it was running for like 7.5 years over the course of that time, and that's 5 seasons. And of course, like it was running on Webtoon, is a Webtoon Originals, and each season is roughly 36 episodes a piece, give or take. And so that's like I was doing the math on it. Like in total, that'll probably be around like 15 or 16 volumes total when all said and done.
Okay, cool. Now,
yes, so a lot of material there.
Yeah. How you said about how many pages does that equate out to?
I think we did a count on the first volume. I think the first volume was close to 200 pages.
Mm-hmm.
So like the volumes 2 and 3, they're going to be, I think they're going to be between 100, like 188 and 230 pages, give or take.
Okay, you said there's going to be about 5 volumes.
Oh, in total, when we do all 5 seasons, it'll be roughly 15 or 16 volumes.
Oh wow. Okay, so about 3,000 pages, roughly.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
You'll need entire shelf space for all the books.
Right.
That's the goal.
All right, cool. I mean, yeah, man, it looks awesome. I mean, and it's still running on Webtoon?
Oh yeah. The full series you can go to Webtoon, like subscribe, and of course they have a coin system, so you can pay coins to unlock the episodes, and you can read the entire series.
Okay, cool. I mean, you got another 3 days left. You already met your goal, which is great. So it looks like you're doing well. Very nice.
Yes,
I mean,
indeed.
everybody, man, go check it out. Darby is really, really good looking book.
Absolutely, check it out, and also share the link with family and friends. The last 3 days, want to get as many people as possible to check it out.
Yeah. All right, cool. I'm gonna put it in the chat so people can go check it out. All right. All right. Now we have Purity. Even though I was hearing a lot about the devil, but go ahead.
Yeah.
What are you looking at?
So I pretty much came to terms by issue 4 that Purity is if Adam Sandler's movie Little Nicky was spoofed into like an Evangeline story. And so basically she escapes hell to seek redemption in her own afterlife, and she lands in futuristic Salem, and she freezes the gates of hell in the process, so no new souls can come in. So Satan's not happy about that. So she sends 2 of her best bounty hunters up to retrieve Purity. And in this issue, they fight it's a very action-packed issue. Lots of blood, lots of violence, lots of money shots, lots of character growth. But pretty much we start off in issue 1 with this like poor defenseless Puritan woman, and now she's this super powered heroic hellion, as I like to call her, and as what the issue is called. But yeah, we're 4 issues in. We have a lot of cover options, a lot of returning cover artists like Courtney Rose. We have a lot of new artists like Marissa Pope. And there's also the first ever spicy cover as well. Surprisingly, with this kind of book, I held off on doing spicy covers, but I kind of gave in this issue, but people seem to really like it. We have Bill McKay, Mariano Benitez Chapo. I always have to have a Satan cover in all of my cover runs because people love Satan and people love Purity Universe Satan. It's just crimson-haired, like goddess-looking character. There's lots of catch-up tiers. All the covers, and then there's also virgin variants that will be offered as add-ons. And then also physical copies of issues 1 through 4, 1, 2, and 3 are also offered as well as add-ons. And then we also are bringing back the commission tiers. So anyone looking for a cover artist, anyone looking for just a private commission, you could add that to your order. And
that's real cool.
Yeah, so it's a great way for me to engage with other creatives if someone's looking for cover art or a bonus illustration, and it also helps support my book as well. And then the mix and match tiers, they're always a fan favorite. And then I offer 2 separate cover run tiers, so you can get the full cover run that includes the Safe for Work. But if you're not a fan of the not Safe for Work cover, you could just stick with that one, or you can just get the full, and it has all the covers available. With the commission tiers, I offer digital and traditional because some people might just want it just sent to them. The next tier is traditional, and that just covers shipping costs. And yeah, that's that's this issue. And we have a lot of cool stretch goals we're featuring. So every issue, I like featuring a new trading card as part of the stretch goal. So we hit a brand new Purity trading card by Dan Donnelly. He is a manga artist from Virginia. He has a book called Death Trap. And then we have the Chibi stickers. That's always a fun stretch goal. Fans seem to like that. So we're offering 2 new Chibi stickers, one of Purity from issue 4 and one of Iris, which is Satan's love interest that were introduced in issue 2. We get our digital print now printed for the 3rd. And the last 2 are just Skymane Studios bookmarks. And also, you get to be mentioned in our thank you page. So, a lot of digital add-ons as well. And then I like to do an indie special. I always love supporting indies on my campaign. And so this one is a crossover between Todd Rayner of Dark Space Studios with his book Ice Pick and Annabelle. So backers of who add this to their order will receive this digital print by Todd, which features Purity and his character, Annabelle and Ice Pick, and then also Ice Pick issue 1 digital PDF as well. And then you could also collect issues 1 through 3's trading cards. So we have all by Justin Hunt, and then the last one by Archie Comics artist Fernando Ruiz.
All right, cool.
Thank you.
So you said 15 issues?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Very nice. All right, cool.
Thank you.
Listen, man, just keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
I think you're doing very well for yourself.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's this has been a story I've been brewing for 15 years, and it's I'm gunning for it. I pinch myself every day to make sure that it's real because I'm like, wow, we're already at issue 4. But it's been a really fun book so far.
All right, cool, very nice. So you got another 6 days. You already met your goal. You're doing well. Very nice, very nice. Everybody, go pick up some Purity.
Thank you.
Big campaign. You got a lot to offer there.
Thank you. Yeah, no.
Having a lot of fun though, too, man. That's what I like about the whole thing.
Yeah, the way I brand Purity as a whole, I'm just it's my love letter to 90s comics. I've been a huge 90s fan. And I just love the stories of that era, and I love just bringing that to the next era of readers. And I'm just, like I said, I'm just having so much fun with it, and just like my team, I'm fortunately, knock on wood, have been pretty like smooth sailing. And then, you know, it's awesome seeing, even with the cover artists, I always love seeing artist interpretation of my characters. That's just kind of, you know, I get like giddy just thinking of that. But it's, you know, it's really cool where we're at so far with it, and there's just so much more I have in store with the character.
All right, cool, very nice. Now we got Frank Gunn Monster Soldier.
Yeah.
Dan, you want me to play this video?
Yeah, go ahead and play it. I'm not the best at making trailers, but tells a little bit about it.
I like how you started it, though.
All right. Yeah, so Frank Gunn is basically like, and I'm sorry I didn't catch your name. The last guy I talked about, like the love letter to the 90s comics. Yeah. This is kind of my love letter to the old school comics of yesteryear, like, you know, Sergeant Rock, but also blended in with some of the EC comics. So the old war comics and the old horror comics. It was a project that was laying around for years that I had while I worked on other stuff. And so I just kind of dusted it off, partnered up with a writer this time, which is not my norm, but it turned out to be a great collaboration. He's a good editor, good writer. And then he also lettered the book. And so basically Frank Gunn is just, he's Frankenstein's monster that the Nazis created in order to turn the tide of the World War II. So what happens is the Allies send a covert team across the lines to find this secret weapon. And what they find in this destroyed laboratory / castle is Frankenstein's monster chained up in a lot of dead Nazis. So a little bit of mystery of what the hell happened. And so it's kind of, what do they do now? They have this monster, and, you know, what do they kill it, or, you know, use him to their advantage? And so there's some PDF characters that, you know, some classic heroes that I'm going to sprinkle in the 4 issues. One of those is the Face. I don't know if you guys heard of that character. He kind of looked like the Green Goblin back in the day. So he had numerous books out, but he's one of the main characters, and so I did him with a twist. He's the one wearing the hood on his head, because when he takes the hood off, his face like stuns people. It startles them, and so he only uses it when necessary. And then, like, there's some other characters like Captain Battle and some other Daredevil maybe that I'd like to add in the next couple issues. And but yeah, so it's it's Frankenstein's monster that ends up helping the Allies in World War II. But there's also another Nazi super soldier. It's kind of like their version of, like, what if, Jor-El crashed in Germany instead of Kansas, right? It's just, that's the main villain that they discover and have to take on in this first story arc. So we was able to do like a couple classic like vintage ads that you see in some of the comic books back then, some mock stuff. I did have some a vintage postcard, kind of like I don't know if the old victory propaganda stuff, like support our troops and kind of things like that. That cover right there is kind of my thank you to Mike Mignola, even though it's nothing, nowhere near his level, but I just always loved Hellboy and his art, so it's my attempt. And then the other cover is kind of the 40s pinup girl. So, but yeah, I did traditional artist, and so I did the art, and PJ the writer did the lettering and edits on it, and it's 28 pages is the first issue. 27 of that is story and art, and then we started working on issue 2. It's going to take a couple of months to get to issue 2, because right now I'm currently penciling a book for another independent company, and then as soon as I get done drawing that book, I'm going to be able to hop on to issue 2. So, but yeah, just wanted to have some fun with it and see what people think. So, and if there's a chance it gets a lot of likes and people wanting more of it, we can always do another mini series. So, and there's some digital tiers. One of them is, I think for $12 you get the PDF of Frank Gunn, and then also a couple of digital copies of my other books, The Devil's Contract. And then I did a Cupid book last year called Mr. Love, about Cupid who's bad at his job. And so, like I said, you can scoop up some of those other digital copies. And then also sketch cards. I did up a bunch of sketch cards for that tier. I got a big monstrous, big ass metal bookmark of the Face character that's in the book as well. So there's a couple of things. I don't offer as much outside of the book itself, just because it's I'm so busy doing the art that and trying to get it printed and everything, just so much work on my plate that I don't get around to offering a bunch of extra stuff. But
yeah, I mean, it is hard, especially when you're doing as much work as you're doing.
Yeah,
I mean, it looks really good. There's
Thanks.
only one, since you're an artist, there's only one reward tier I would ever suggest to you that as an artist you should put in. And I think because I've seen other people do it, and that's where you draw people into the book.
Right.
Yes.
Not necessarily this issue, but they could be in the second issue. And people charge a premium for those. And folks, for some reason, they love being drawn into these books. I don't know why, but yeah. That's the only one level I would ever suggest.
Okay.
I don't know if it'll work, but yeah, because that's the one that I see that works for like the artists.
Yeah, I'll have to. Yeah, I'd be more than happy to do that.
You draw him in as a Marine.
Yeah,
who was gonna die, some Nazi,
right.
Some random monster in the background, a zombie or something.
Right,
a zombie. If you're gonna draw them, they're just gonna be in there for one scene. You're like, oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I mean, I won't draw them as a Nazi getting shot, but unless they want to, hell, I don't care.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. If there was a Nazi vampire, who knows?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Something fun, tongue in cheek, that sort of thing. But listen, man, I'm really liking it. I'm feeling it.
Nice. Nice. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you got 23 days ago. You got a little bit of hustle to go, but you're almost where you need to be at.
Yeah,
But yeah, man, it's a good looking
75%.
book. I like it, man.
Thanks.
You're 75% to your goal. So yeah, good looking. Very nice.
Thank you.
All right, cool. So everybody, go pick up Frank Gunn.
All right, yeah, that mug is dope. You know what's so funny? That thing kind of reminds me. I can see the Mike Mignola in there.
Mhm.
I can see the horror influence in there from EC and like Bernie Wrightson and stuff right there.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But
Yeah.
it also has like
Thank
a
you.
Ron Dessonay look to it, man.
Yeah, thank
It
you.
looks like French comics too, man. I love French comics though.
Yeah,
Calderon is a huge Mignola mark.
I wouldn't call myself a mark, but yeah, I'm a
Oh,
huge
big
fan.
time, bro.
I'm a big fan.
I've seen the library.
Yeah, it is big.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has seen the library. That's true.
I
That's true.
stand by my statement because of the library alone. Okay,
Yeah.
he doesn't have just the graphic novels, right? He doesn't have he has the elite of the elite when it comes to the collections. The shit that if somebody breaks into his place, he is throwing it at them to defend himself because
He got a
they
card
can't
with
stop
Mike
him
Mignola's phone number on it in there, huh?
Yeah,
He got multiple collections from Mike Mignola.
yeah. It's not one shelf. It's probably going on 4 shelves right now.
Well, yeah, you a super fan then, buddy.
Yeah. I you know. Hey.
We lost Dan.
What?
What happened to Dan?
There you
all
go.
right. I'm back.
Oh, damn, you're back. Sorry.
Sorry, something was going down.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Tom, what are we looking at, sir?
So this is the second leg of our 15-year anniversary for The Legend of Oz, The Wicked West. This is our BD16 anthology that we now have. Can I talk?
Anthology? Anthology?
Can I talk? That we have modified to be called the Ozthology this year because the whole book is Oz, as opposed to the previous anthologies being different titles for us. So there's 3 different stories in here, tons of different characters, including this first one, Overman Anu and the Invisible Bears of Vo. This is done by Samir Samau and Sean Lee. Then the second one is the Glass Cat. This guy has appeared in the series before, but we gave him his own little adventure.
All right, it's all good.
This is done by Sergio Rios and Todd Vertice. And then the Silver Princess of Oz is a new character, new situation. We're introducing her. We're introducing really the north portion of Oz, which is Gillikin Land, and we'll also be introducing for the first time the final of the 4 Peacekeepers of Oz. The Diamond Peacekeeper will make her first appearance in this story as well. So we just unlocked the first stretch goal. At 6,000, we're about $300 away from the next stretch goal. Variant covers, super easy. There's 7 of them. Jason Hare doing the Overman Anu covers. Glass Cat by Asher B. Nia Rufino on the Princess of Oz. Mm-hmm. And then a couple other characters. We have to have our obligatory Dorothy Gale with the Flying Monkeys. That is Izaneto Adamar. And then Pablo Verdugo Munoz with the Wits of the West. And Karu is another one of our new artists that we found with the Scarecrow. That's it. Those are the new covers. Yeah. Now, for the first time, we're doing something that we have right there, which is the box set. So what you're getting is all 7 of the basic variant covers, and it's going to come with one of those magnetic portfolio boxes with a piece of art on it that is exclusive to the box. So that's that Narcelio Sousa piece. That's not a cover. That's not an art print. That'll only be part of that portfolio box. And then if you're new to the book, we've got all kinds of ways to catch up on it. We've got the omnibus. We've got backup issues, the other trades, just anything you need to catch up on the series in whatever way you need to do it. TikTok miniseries. And if you just want to dive into the whole thing, we have all of it as a physical lot, or you can get it all digitally as well. And we have our mystery boxes that we do. We only make 50 of those. And then there's specialties. We have holofoils and metals, and the Nia Rufino is a jeweled metal, so it's got little actual jewels put onto it.
Right.
That one there. So those will be cool. Those are all the foils and metals and stuff are all printed to order. And then we have the Big Dog Ink universe. So if you want to get in on other things that we do, these are all add-ons for the Critterverse and for Antoinette and Scheherazade and a good portion of the other stuff that we do. So very, very easy.
Looks great.
Yeah. So is your Ozthology going to be an annual thing or something to do every few years?
Well, the BD anthology is an annual thing. So we started when we were 13 years. There's the 3 of them right there, the previous 3. So we've done them now this is our 4th year in a row. But because we were going to celebrate Oz all year long, we turned BD 16 into just Ozthology. So next year we'll have the BD 17, but it'll all be Critterverse because we're going to be focusing on Critter next year. So we're modifying them a little bit as opposed to doing 3 different stories. We're going to use these as expansions for these series.
Have you taken that to a Wizard of Oz convention?
Oh, absolutely. For the last 13 years, I've been going to Ozstravaganza in New York. They invite me every year.
Sweet.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. Very nice.
So do you find that you sell more there compared to a regular comic convention?
Kind of yes and no. Early on, because our book is not what you would call traditional, it was sort of a struggle to get those, because at these events, they're usually heavily purist, like the movie and the books, and like that's all they care about.
Yeah.
Even stuff like Return to Oz, the movie, they're usually kind of like, I don't know, that's not really Judy Garland, is not my thing. So it took me a while to kind of break in for those fans to be like, all right, like I said, I've done it for 13 straight years. So I was there the first year, they were like, I was there for a second year, they were like, third year, they were, and then like fourth year, like, why are you still here? Show me what this book is. And so the doors kind of started to open, and then sort of, I would say 9 times out of 10, they would buy like the first book and then come back the next day and be like, oh, you really do understand Oz. Like, this is not the Oz that we understand, but it's based heavily in what Baum created. And so I think that's why it works for almost anyone to read it, is if you are a fan of Oz, you're going to know where all this stuff came from. You're going to understand that this isn't just sort of a bastardization of what Baum did. It's using his creation and just, implanting it into a different setting, which is like the Wild West, essentially. So while, our Dorothy Gale and our witches all, have guns and shoot bullets and stuff, they all have powers that still match up to kind of what the books are. And just the tone and texture of it still has just enough of like L. Frank Baum in it to be, I guess, palatable for purists. So it's been good. It's an interesting show because it's an outdoor festival, Ozstravaganza. So it's not like a Comic-Con. It's not like an indoor thing. It's like we're out in these big tents and stuff in the park. Right. And then they put us in a parade every year. So I've been in a parade for freaking years. But I mean, the parade on Saturday, they bring like 30,000 people into this park. So it's pretty crazy. And there's all kinds of guests that have been there, Well, the Munchkins used to come to this all the time, but they're all past now. So it's like the daughters and granddaughters and so on of, the original cast members come, stuff like that. Andre DeShields, who played the wizard in The Wiz on Broadway, I got to meet him. So it's a really cool, unique event, and they invite me every year. So I'm perfectly happy to keep showing up and doing my stuff. And we just got a backer. We're up to 100 backers right now.
Sweet. Super sweet.
Very nice.
Boom.
Everybody, jump in. Go check out some Oz.
Yeah.
Very nice. Tom, awesome as always. You know this. All right, Jay, you're up.
With?
Question.
Yeah. All right. Based on earlier, some of you guys started to touch on it. When you're working with somebody, how do you maintain the relationship? What do you do to, if you have to, incentivize your collaborator to continue to either A, finish the project, or B, continue the project with subsequent issues?
Nick, you're up.
Well, Well, first and foremost, like when it comes to like when I hire a new talent, I always try and like when it comes to payment, I want to see like what they want I offer, up front, half up front, or if they want a payment plan, or if there's a set schedule, I kind of keep a consistent streamline of payment. And, I feel like a lot of them can kind of, their mindset alters if they don't see money at some point. And so I try and meet them in the middle to I always pay them on time. I want to make sure they're paid on time, because then they'll remember that. They'll be like, oh, like Dynamite or Marvel haven't paid me yet. It's been 2 months, but Nick has always managed to be on time with payment. And so I obviously, at first, like I said, I work with them and see what they prefer, because some even prefer, like when I hire cover artists, some even prefer payment upon completion. But I open that door for them where I'm like, I'm willing to work with you if you want to get paid earlier, whatever. But I just like knowing that they'll get paid, I think keeps them around. And then when you build that friendship with them, I think for me at least, I will still remain to set certain boundaries, because say if artist X started slacking after 5 issues and, I've addressed it with them and stuff, I constantly remind them. I keep like a paper trail of like messages and everything, but I remind them that if I throw you off this book, it's nothing like personal. It's just strictly business. And I think for the most part, in my experience, that seemed to always work. That never was an issue. They're not like, putting up the middle fingers and be like, yeah, F you, man, or whatever. Like I always strictly keep that boundary of it's solely business. It's nothing against them as a person, as an artist. It's just didn't work out. So those boundaries I feel help.
Right.
All right, cool. Sean, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so The Fog Within, that series, all 5 issues so far has been the same artist. So that was my first artist I ever met or talked with anyways from Facebook. And I've been very lucky that it's gone this route because I wanted to have consistency throughout the series. And I know that with him, he'll basically get paid every page that he finishes. He gets paid for that page and then moves on to the next one. I'm completely fine with that. So we try to do 3 pages a week. It doesn't always work out because he's doing other books at the same time because he is full time. But I know it'll be in that realm anyways. And I always have my Kickstarters, out a ways for that book anyways. So at least 4 months or so. I make sure I have that buffer so that by the time I'm going live, it's almost done if it's not already done. Because I got the colorist doing about 4 pages behind him every time he has 4 pages set up. So that's how I keep that one going. And I've been lucky so far. He's almost finished issue 5 now. So we started in January, that kind of thing. With Dave, with Recon, he's just super fast. It's crazy. He does cost more, but his art, I cannot deny. I've loved his stuff before I started working with him. And I knew what I was getting myself into price-wise, but it's totally worth it. And he goes from start to finish, layouts and everything. When he gets the script, he's done in a month with pencils, inks, and colors. Damn. And it's insane. I can't afford it as fast as he is because I can't get the Kickstarters going that fast. But yeah, he started the week after Thanksgiving for this issue, and he was done before the end of the year. And he was apologizing that he was too slow. I was like, that's not slow. So so I've been really lucky with that one, and he's on board for the other 2 as well. It's just a matter of getting my money in place, and then he already has me scheduled for the other 2. So that one's pretty easy. The Scaled Key is my other book, and that one he was super fast at first. He had a little pay scheduling difference, like how he wanted to do it compared to the other 2 artists, and it did drag on. But I also didn't go live with the Kickstarter. I thought he would be done in July because he started in June and he was just as fast as Dave. But he actually didn't finish the pages until I was live with the Scaled Key. So I wanted to make sure that at least I'd be done by that time, and I knew going in too that I'd have to put my date a little further than I wanted to just to be safe. So I'm not over promising. So I thought I'd be able to print it out and get it out to backers in December. So I had that up there first. And then when I got closer to the Kickstarter, I changed it to January, and we got it out in January, and you're good to go. So I've been very lucky with the 3 artists that I've worked with and colorists. And I just want to continue that same thing with everybody moving forward. And I just know what I'm getting myself into with the Fog Within and with the Scaled Key of how it's going to play out. So I'm going to plan the next one accordingly.
Okay. All right, cool. Mark, what are your thoughts?
What thing is that we pay in chunks. So what, even like obviously anything that I do all the duty free stuff myself, for the most part. But we do licensed stuff from people. We also do like jobs for other people outside of our Imaginers group. So what we'll pay in chunks. So you get half. Let's say you do a chunk of 7 of pages, right? You get half when you show me the layouts. You get half when the pencils and inks are done, right? For that chunk, right? So that and one thing we do is kind of controversial. I talk to a lot, especially like the license stuff, whatever. Not the license stuff, but the stuff we do for other people. What we'll do, we'll work out something with them. We'll lower our rates if they give the artist, the writer, or whoever, if they give them if they give them a piece of ownership. And that's what usually gets people motivated. They know they got a piece of ownership, so if this thing goes any further than just comics, boom, they possibly sitting on something that's going to go multimedia or whatever, and they're like, oh, okay, I'm willing to take a chance on that. So that worked for us really well, actually.
All right, cool. Sherrard, what are your thoughts?
The majority of the time, I'm usually the one who's being hired for particular jobs. But when I do bring people on for like what Darby had a coloring assist. When I had assistants, I would usually pay them within a week after they send me the invoice for particular episodes that they worked on. And whenever I couldn't pay them within that week, it usually be like a clump of episodes, probably like a paycheck after 2 episodes or so, within the same month.
All right, cool. Dan, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I'm coming from a different angle as an artist, trying to collaborate with writers. So it worked out a couple times, but also there's writers who flake out, just like artists, right? Who never come up with anything, even when you're in the baby stages of working on a project. And I'm doing all the art of the characters, and even we have the plot and all that shit, and then the writer just like, yeah, I'm still writing some stuff. I'm just struggling to get anything down right now. And then a couple months go by, and then you got to move on to someone else. But like my last book that came out last year, Mr. Love, the Cupid book, it was a character that I had some short stories done already. And there's a writer from another company that saw my artwork and had me do some art for him. And then in return, I just said, hey, if you're not busy right now, if you can help me and we can work together and get this book out. And so we partnered up with that. And the campaigns are fairly small. So I'm not like promising, going back to Hollywood talk. I'm not talking up a big game like, hey, man, we're going, this is going to be huge and some shit like that. It's just, let's work together, see how it turns out, and let's get a book out there printed. And so, like I said, I think we was both happy with the book that came out last year, and we're working on some more stories of that character with Frank Gunn. Kind of similar. I was doing Free Comic Book Day, and a guy came up. We started talking, and I had a superhero book that is, I don't know, about 75% of the way done for a trade. And yeah, the artwork's done. The writing wasn't done, right? The script and stuff. And then so I just took a chance on this guy. He wanted to write a superhero book. And so while we were working on that, I showed him some of the Frank Gunn pages I had, about 14 pages done, and the ideas behind it. And he's like, man, that looks great. And so we just kind of put pause on one project, jumped to finish Frank Gunn, just because it seemed like a lot of fun to do it. And it's been working out wonderful. I mean, I can't explain. Without his help, I don't know if the book was going to be as good, because like I said, I'm not an editor, and I'm not the kind of writer that he is. So it's been working fairly smooth, but kind of the same premise. There's no money involved. I'm not paying them, but it's like, hey, let's do a project. And the only way that I have worked out is your payment is if we print, several hundred copies outside of Kickstarter, then I will give you half of those copies. And so when we do shows together, because we live like half hour apart, so when we do shows together and we got some store signings booked already, we can sell your copies of the book there, and some store signings will sell my copies of the book, and so we figured that worked itself out, and then see what money's left over for issue 2. So,
Right.
All right, cool. Tom.
So it used to be when I started that people wanted long-term work. They wanted to come in and be like, okay, am I doing one issue? Or am I doing 5 issues? Am I doing 10 issues? And the more you could be like, this is a long term. They were excited to have a job for month after month after month after month after month. So they wouldn't have to like do a job and then have to find another job. They knew they were going to wrap up a book and there was going to be another script. And we'll do it again. And we'll do it again. And we'll do it again.
Right.
That just doesn't seem to be the case anymore. It just seems to me to be, well, I did this job and now I want to leapfrog myself somewhere else. Maybe I can get paid more somewhere else.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with wanting to get more. And I've had conversations in the past with some of my artists where it's like, look, I can pay you more, or do you want a piece of this property? Like we talked about.
Right.
I have never had an artist tell me that they want a piece of the property. They want a page rate, higher page rate, whatever it is. And I'm like, okay, I'll work with you. You've been here a long time. I'm happy to bump your page rate. If that works with you and we'll continue on, then we'll continue on. So, the question was, how do we incentivize? I think the basic is just pay them, like, make sure that you're paying them. That's sort of the obvious one. But if there were, I don't think it matters that if they're working for you and suddenly Marvel's like, hey, you want to draw Daredevil? They're going to be like, see ya. And they're going to be gone. Like, I don't know that you can really lock in loyalty anymore without sort of that piece of the pie, right? But if they choose not to take the piece of the pie, then, what am I supposed to do? And the other part of that is, here's the reality. 99.9% of all comics or whatever are never going to see any media. They're never going to make it to Amazon or a movie. And so the piece of the pie is almost irrelevant because we know nothing's going to happen. It really takes something unique like a Invincible, where Cory Walker and Ryan Ottley had a piece of Invincible along with Kirkman, and now it's a cartoon and now it's a big thing and they're all making their money. But for every one of those, there's 1,000 that never see the light of day in media. So it's great to offer that piece, but the artists know, they're like, that's great, but I really just need to pay my rent right now. And so, you give them a higher page rate. But to me, it's like, hey, I'm willing to pay you that page rate to stay. Like, I'm paying you to stay here. I don't want you to come and do 4 issues and then be like, well, someone's now paying me $25 more a page somewhere else, and I'm going to go there. That's not the loyalty that I'm paying for. I'm willing to pay the page rate if you're staying here. And some people hang around for 6 months, a year. Some people hang around for a couple of issues and they bail out. I don't know how you incentivize in a general sense. Every artist is going to be a little different. They might all have their own little, like, well, this is where I'm coming from. This is what I need. And I think if you have the conversation of like, look, I want to put you on this book for long term. This isn't just 3 issues and we're gone. Like, I want you to do these, and then I want you to come back, and then I want you to come back. I think if you can have that discussion, I think then you're kind of feeding the ego properly. Like, I want you here. And that should hopefully take you at least for a little bit of an extended workload. And then obviously they got to like the book. Like, to them, if it's literally just like a job, like, I'm doing it, but I don't really like this book, you're kind of hosed. But when you find people that are like genuinely like, oh, I like doing this, this is a great book, this is a great script, story, whatever, that's the collaboration that you want to do. You want to find that Ryan Otley guy who's like, I don't want to just do it, I want to put into it. Like, I want to find a way, and I'm talking about artistically here, I want to find a way to really bring this script out, just extra effort, whether you're at cons or whatever. Those are the guys that you want to find, but they are minute in the totality of this world of finding artists. So it's kind of a crapshoot. And with all these publishers and all these in the retail space, and then all these publishers that are in the Kickstarter space, and all these guys are just jumbling around, and artists now can kind of jump, and just kind of find that page rate. Like, oh, I can get a little more here, I can get a little more here. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they go try and get a little bit more?
And one thing to worry about too is that a lot of these companies now, I feel like Marvel and DC always had something of that nature, but you got to worry now that if they leave to like go to another publisher, that the publisher gives them like a non-compete in their contract, which is like a new prominent thing with like, even with like, I know with certain editors too, like if an editor say works at like DC, I'm almost positive they have like a non-compete. They're not allowed to work on any other projects outside of, DC. So I worry about that even with mainstream publishers for their artists. So like they might, say if they hired your artist to work on Batman, they probably are not allowed to ever like really work on anything else unless their contract is over. So like that's another thing to like fear with these jump too.
See, and Seven's right here. I mean, it is rare to get these things, but I'm not even talking about 50 issues. I'm talking about like, give me 10.
Yeah.
Give me 10 issues. And that's like a solid couple of trade paperbacks, some consistency in the art. Like, I'd be happy if I could get 10 out of a guy. And I've gotten a couple people who have given me like 20 plus. So in the early days, I really got very lucky with the guys that I had. But now I'm in that mode where I'm like, I'm looking for somebody to give me 20 again. Like, who's going to give me 20? And I'm going to take care of you to take care of this 20 issues for me. And, that's sort of the hope.
Where I look out though is I usually, I'm digging in the crate, so to speak. And so I'm usually finding artists that, because I'm an artist, I can identify people that are dope and they don't even know they're dope. So I'll be like, hey man, you kind of dope. And they're like, well man, I don't got no experience in this. So I train them, I teach them the ropes and all that. And so I make them better professionals. So they have an allegiance to me in their mind because I was the guy who helped them get where they get a lot of the time, right? And it's weird, man, because I mean, I had people been working for me for years. They doing Marvel stuff. They doing all this stuff, but they still like, man, Mark, man, I remember you gave me my first start and whatever, man, whatever you need, I got you. So
the very first guy, not the first guy I hired, because again, I had for Critter, I've told this story before. For Critter, I hired 7 artists, hired them. Hey, you're hired. I'm going to pay you. Hired them to do this book. All 7 of them flaked out before they ever drew a panel. Until I finally found Jose Luis, who was like, I'll do it. Great. He did a great like origin story issue for Critter. And then as soon as he was done with that, DC called. Right. And I was like, I can't tell him not to go. What's funny is he felt really bad. He was like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. Like, this is a job I have to take. I'm like, I am not telling you to not go to DC. I appreciate what you did. You finished the book. You did a great job. And then over the years now, he's come back and he's like done covers for us and stuff. And he always is like, I really feel bad. And I'm like, dude, don't. That's over. Just give me a cover every now and then, and
Right.
we're
But y'all
square.
still got a relationship though. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Everything dude is relationship based.
Yes.
Even money is cool, but relationships, man, are worth more than money.
Yeah.
As you deal with people in this industry, you know.
Yeah.
True.
DC and Marvel's taste rates still are not what they used to be.
Oh yeah.
No, but they're still higher than ours.
Yeah, right.
That's true. That is true.
Plus, that's the other part of it is in some category, like, yeah, you might get more money at DC or Marvel, but also you're on a book that you can tell people, I drew Superman, I drew Wonder Woman. Like, so there's a clout element to, moving up the ranks as well. Because then you tell the conventions, like, well, I was a Wonder Woman artist, I was a Spider-Man artist. That helps you in other ways too. So sometimes they'll jump ship for a clout chase type of thing, which again makes sense. I'm not saying don't do it, but if you're gonna jump, at least talk to me first. Let me see if I can do something for you to maintain our relationship.
But it's even the thing though. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say the thing about that is, it's the clout. You've done it. You've done the job, but you don't own it.
No, but there's value in being able to say I'm a Wonder Woman artist.
Yeah,
because the general public will go, oh, you drew Wonder Woman? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Come to my con. And I'll give you a booth, that kind of stuff.
But there's also value in being able to say that, hey, I'm the guy that invented like an image book or an image, like
100%. Yeah.
And like just me personally as an artist, I've always I've been doing my own thing for just so long that like I just see more value in just like creating something new, even though it has a smaller audience. That's a smaller dedicated fan base, and people know this body of work that I own. That I can always say like, oh, yeah, sure, that's the guy who did the Derby Assembly. That's the guy who did Galaxies. Yeah, as opposed to like, he did this great run on Batman, funnily enough, I actually did I colored a couple issues of Batman digital years back, but again, that's that clout's not really here or there now because that's old work.
But to add
but see, I work with Nia Rufino, and she was a colorist for DC across everything that they did forever. And every time she's at cons with us, I absolutely see people bringing old work for her to sign.
Sure.
So they're aware of her. She made a name for herself in many ways. It's not just a matter of like, hey, I did 6 issues of Batman. Like, that's great, but you're right. You kind of need it to be an extended sort of period of time. It's not just jumping in and jumping out. But I think a lot of people just look at this short-term element like, oh, that's my opportunity. I'm going to Batman. Mm-hmm. And then maybe they last 6 months and they're out, or maybe they go to Batman and then another editor's like, well, now we need you on Martian Manhunter. Now we need you over here. That's what happened with Jose. As soon as he left Critter, he was drawing Justice League of America, for God's sakes. And then he was just in the DC system, kind of bouncing around to all of the things that they were doing. So he got into that office space or whatever, and he's been there ever since. And now he's worked for everybody, Marvel and everybody.
Right, but the thing though about that though, man, is this: after Image punched Marvel and DC in their eyes, they make sure that they don't keep people on the book for long enough to where they can get a name. They make damn sure of that. Because they don't ever want to be punched in the eye like that ever again by, depending on any artist like they did back especially Marvel, back when they had every damn good artist, that you could ever be back at that time. They got punched in the face, and their lips still bloody from that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, right? So they basically, they're not going to leave anybody on their book long enough to become a superstar. Forget that.
That's why they promote writers more than they do artists now.
Yep.
They have for the last decade or so.
Yep.
Hey, Tom, in your situation where the artist went on to work for DC and Marvel, the book that he did for you, are you selling more of that because he's now made a bigger name for himself, or no?
No, I wouldn't. No, I mean, the book, he only did the one book, and it was 16 years ago now. So it is part of our trade paperback. So when I talk about the people that have worked on the book, I do bring him up, and I'm like, oh, here's Jose, and he's working over there, and the audience does kind of respond to that because it shows that I picked the right guy, because if I picked the right guy and then DC took him away, like, oh, Tom had him first, So it kind of gives me a little bit of clout as far as all the people that I've worked with, because a lot of them have gone on to work for the guy who did Oz and did 20 issues of Oz. He went over to DC after that. We had Natalie Sanders first doing covers, and now she's doing covers every month for KMC and doing all the kind of DC covers for them. We had Shannon Mayer. He did the first cover for us. Then he went out and did covers for everybody after that. So it's the one thing that I feel like I can pat myself on the back for is I can spot the right guy and sort of put them in a position to be like, oh, Tom found another one. And then they can, take their journey wherever it goes.
All right, cool. So Jay, it's just artist retention, right?
Doesn't matter. Collaborator.
Okay. I think one of the things that's always worked for me is consistency, right? Like with Jade Gonzalez, who I've done a couple thousand pages with for the Oswald Chronicles, is that, we have a 10-page system, right? So she does 10 pages, I pay her 10 pages, I pay her 10 pages, I pay her. And when she completes that 10 pages and I get that 10th page, it's not like I'm keeping her waiting like 30 days or a week. I mean, usually I'm paying her within, like, if I get that 10th page and I'm sitting at the computer, I'm usually going to PayPal and I'm paying her right at that moment. She's not waiting, very long. I think the longest I had to keep her waiting was a week, and that was because I was on vacation. Right. And I was like, look, I'll be back. I'll pay when I get back. She was like, fine. She didn't care. She was like, good. But yeah, I think that sort of thing is important to the artists that I work with. Right. Is that, because some of them will take on big jobs and they'll keep me waiting. Like I won't see a page from them for like a month, right? But then, they'll come back and they'll be like, oh, then I just start seeing it every week again, because I know that's, they've run through their other work, and I'm like, all right, boom. But I'm there to keep them going. Sure. You know what I mean? So I think consistency, and then also with the artists that I'm working with, as soon as because my projects, with the Oswald Chronicles specifically, it's already written, it's done. I'm like, here's the story, complete the story. Once they're done, it's on to covers, and then once the covers is done, all right, here's the next script. It's not even like there's not a lot of waiting. Like it's just like get this done. Let's just keep moving. And I think that consistency is what keeps a lot of them around. Sure. Because that's what does that. That's what it does for me. So that's what I think has worked for me. So Jay, answer your own question.
I got nothing. I'm looking for answers. I mean, I'm shopping, baby. I need help. No, but I do remember, Marvel had this thing, and it was the bonus policy, right? Where if they did 3 or more issues, bonus policies would start to kick in. Right? They wanted that consistency, and one of the biggest things was that's why John Byrne left Captain America. Right, he was something was going on, and the editor thought he was not going to be able to get, let's just say the 6th issue out in time. So to cover his ass, he got a guest team to get on the book, and John Byrne fought it, and it didn't happen. The guest team ended up doing the book, and he said, fuck it, I'm off of the book, right? Because he knew that was going to kill his bonus, and he stopped from there. But that's just one story out of X, right? I'm just looking for ideas, guys. Right, I don't got.
Yeah, we do the bonus thing too, man. No doubt, we definitely do it. Especially
here's how you do it. You pay Marvel rates. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because then what's the difference? Hey, just draw my book. I'm paying you $300 a page. Don't worry about it.
Right. When we dealing with people though, what'll happen, especially if we dealing with clients, we proxying for clients.
Yeah.
Buddy, look, they see them pages, they love them pages, they pay that bonus in a minute. Oh man, give her a little extra. oh, this is amazing. I don't want them to leave, so I don't really have to worry about it because the client don't want them to leave. You know what I'm saying? So.
Okay. What do you got, kid? My question's done. My answer's done. What's next?
Tom, you got a quickie?
So at the beginning of Laser Blast, when the ship lands,
the show's over. Peace out.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I got no questions for you, man. I got no questions for you. You should know better by now.
Oh God! All right,
go into your Rolodex. Give it a spin like the frickin' Price is Right.
Yeah, I know. I really should. I should
find us a 65-cent question.
Yeah, I should just have
a question last week though, man. That I was watching the show. Y'all asked this question, man. It's been on my mind a lot. So I was C2E2. That was the question you asked about what was indie and what's not indie. Right. So I'm at C2E2, man. Just it was on my mind. So I'm looking through all these people, man, and looking at all these different artists and what, right? And in my mind, I hate to say it, I'm tearing them. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Okay, this is super indie. This guy right here, he's indie. Yeah, this guy's done image work, but he's still out here grinding like us. You know. And so again, I want to approach that question again, but I want you guys to give me examples of tiers. Give me the tiers of indie. Can anybody give me the tiers of independent comics?
Well, I mean, would you in this day and age, would you still consider Lady Death indie if it's amassing the audience that it amasses?
Yeah.
Well, but it's not that it has an audience; it's how the audience was built, and he's building it without angel investors. He's building it without a publisher. He's literally doing it himself. Coffin Comics. He's got a team, of course. He's built a team to do the things, but even that was built over time and that sort of thing. So I think he would be. You're asking about tiers, something like Coffin Comics, something like Dan Mendoza. Those kind of guys are like the top of the indie level. And then kind of from there, it's like it kind of falls down a little bit. And then again, it's kind of the same thing we talked about before. Guys like from Marvel or DC coming over into the indie space, getting an image book or whatever. So the question there is are they indie or are they still sort of under the angel investor sort of thing because they're bringing this audience from Batman over into that. So are they or are they not? I don't know.
I don't think it's the angel investor. I think is that they get the machine support behind them.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Right? But that's their investment is they have that machine behind them. Yeah.
And I'm going back to last week. I'm not taking away the creator-owned title.
Right.
That's locked in, right? That's locked in. But it's like if you're not the one tying up your own fucking boots, bro, you're not indie. You're not basic level indie. You know.
Well, I mean, the thing is just like let's say you get somebody like an Image, right? Yeah, guess what? Yeah, they might print your book or whatever, but they're just like the record companies. You get what I'm saying? You ain't gonna recoup until you know how the record companies work. They'll give you an advance, but you better recoup that advance. You ain't getting a dime. So it's kind of like, they work like the record companies, right? So, but it's still your business that you run. You have to pay your artists. You have to pay. They're not paying your artists. You got to pay your own damn artists. You got to pay your own damn, editors and all that. So that's what I asked the question, because are they indie or like you guys, some people are saying, well, no, they're not indie.
If you go into that music label thing, no, just because you got signed to Def Jam doesn't mean you're not part of Arista. You know what I'm saying? You're still part of the parent company, bro.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is this though, right? You don't own your masters when you sign for Def Jam. As an independent artist, you own your masters.
Okay, so let me roll this back. All right, so you're an Image. You're still paying your $3,500 for the marketing team and the sales team to push your book.
Right. They take their 15%.
We're not paying into that.
They take their 15%.
Right? We don't have that.
But still, again, my thing is this. At the end of the day, look, the reason I asked about it is that, again, you still responsible for paying your dues.
Of course you're paying your dues.
You know what I'm saying?
And again, that's not taking away the creator.
You're not responsible for paying your dues. Marvel pay your dues.
You're not. I'm not taking away for the creator own. Everybody in this panel, 100% indie.
I think that
that's fucking locked in, B.
I think creator owned is a part of the indie space. That's
Hey,
all.
let me ask you guys something. Would you guys consider Kickstarter indie? Because comparatively, like anyone and everyone pushes their books through Kickstarter. You know, they're all independently owned companies or subsidiaries, whatever. But they're using like Kickstarter as a comic space that comparatively, I mean, you could say it's bigger than Marvel, DC, and Image.
Well, Kickstarter is not indie, but the people that use it are to a degree, but not everybody, because Dynamite's coming into this space, Boom is coming into this space. So, but the if you were to just look in sort of the generalization of like, look, a guy made a comic book, that's an indie guy trying to make a comic book, and using the system, because Kickstarter has moved out of the idea of that it's purely for like an investment of money to make a thing. It's a sales channel now. Like people know it is a sales channel, and if you use it properly, you can grow an audience to do whatever you want to do in there. I mean, Polito did it to the point where he literally learned it so well that he built his own crowdfunding system and left Kickstarter to go do his own thing. So it's Kickstarter is an open door to do what you want to do and however you want to do it. And there are plenty of success stories that are not, Boom and Dynamite within that space. So, we got to look at that and say, like, what did that guy do that it did what it did? And sometimes it's because there's boobs, and sometimes it's because there's a name, some sort of name attached to it, and whatever. And then we got to look at that and go, well, do I put boobs on my book? Like, does Calderon need to put some chick mice in his Oswald? Like, we make those decisions as far as like what we see the market is doing and how we want to be affected by the market or not if we don't want to.
It also depends on the artist or how you kicking stuff, because Stranger Comics, them guys doing Afrofuturism stuff, right? They just happen to hit that niche. They ain't got no boobs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's all kinds of niches in there that if you can tap in, you can blow up.
They got stuff coming on Cartoon Network. Indiana the Wolf Spider got stuff coming on Cartoon Network. But again, they hit that niche, whatever. So yeah, exactly.
But that becomes one of the tiers that we're talking about, right? Have they gotten up there? Yeah. Are they upper echelon? Okay. Yeah. Right. You go from selling your books at the back of your trunk, right? From convention to convention.
Wu-Tang in it.
Yeah. Right. There are steps on the ladder. There are, right? But when you're somebody like Boom, who, hey, they had a first look deal with Fox, right? When Ross Ritchie was still there, that's not indie anymore, man. You know what I mean? That's investment money coming into you, Pop.
Yeah, but my thing again, man, I think that we blurring the comic space and the media space, though. We talk about comic space. Are they Indian?
Comic space.
A place like Boom, though, really was licensing anyway. It was Planet of the Apes and Power Rangers, and exactly. I don't know how much they really had like indie stuff.
Right.
Yeah. It was all kind of under Boom's, like, you're making this for us.
Same with Dynamite too.
This is what Steppen is saying, where I made a thing that I own, even though it's published through Image, I own the thing. So that's sort of the first sort of indie qualifier is you made something that you own.
Right. I concur. Yeah. Because like Jay, look. So you take one of your books, you own that book. That's Jay stuff. I don't care where you take it. Jay still own the masters.
Yeah.
And you can tell them what to do, and if you don't want them to do what you want to do, they can tell them kick bricks. That's power, man, and they got that power.
At some point, right? But okay, we get to something, right? And whatever, I get that first look deal, or I get that option money. All right, am I still indie? Yeah, I moved up on the ladder.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to say no, right? But at some point, I don't want to use the term you've sold out, right? But you signed off.
As long as Jay owned your master, as long as you own the master, you ain't saying shit.
What I want to know right now, and this is the most important thing, because Steppen is here. We have to ask this question.
Oh yeah,
Steppen, when is the Sunstone Cinemax series coming out? We need the Sunstone Cinemax series 7. Spill the beans.
If you sold the rights to it, you're no longer indie.
Right, exactly.
Others. You're very much dependent. Yeah.
So, Stephen, when is the Sunstone series coming out?
We need that Cinemax movie.
Look, man, I was watching Stephen on the interview a couple days ago. That was one of the most fun interviews I've seen in years.
Nice. All right, gentlemen, this has been a blast. We made it to hour 2, so let's wrap it up. Let's start with Dan. Dan, where can they find you and your work, sir?
All right, you can find me now at mindgrindcomics.com or on Facebook at mindgrindcomics. And I'm always posting stuff on Facebook on the latest art and latest project.
All right, cool. Nick, where can we find you and your work, sir?
Primarily, you can find me on Instagram, X, Facebook, at Nick Caponi Art. I also have the Skymane Studios Instagram account as well, which I actively post on too. And yeah, that's where you can find all my Kickstarters and all the upcoming projects I'm working on.
All right, cool. Sean?
So Recon on the Wild One is on Kickstarter until Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Definitely find me there. Of course, everywhere else, Facebook, X, Blue Sky, Reddit, all those. I am Sean Wood _writer. I'm up for talking about my comics, just comics in general, or whatever you want to talk about. Come find me.
Cool. Mr. Dudley.
You can find me at JudahFistaComicSeries.com for the webcomic. You can also find me over at ImaginosWorkshop.com for everything else I do. And Imaginos Workshop on Instagram, too, for what we do. Yeah.
Very nice. Sherrard, where can I find you?
You can find me. My handle is Sherrard UR. It's SHERARDYOUARE. You can find me there at Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky. And that'll same handle for all my socials, and you can go to my Instagram bios for further links to Darby, to my new series Balls Deep, and also to Kickstarters and to the merch.
Cool. Mr. Tom.
BigDogInc.com gets you the books that you need. We've got 16 days left on the current campaign. That'll lead us into May for our last issue of Goth Day. And then I'll be on the road quite a bit in the summertime, and I'll be making my return to San Diego Comic-Con this year. So anybody that's going to be at San Diego, come find me at the Antarctic Press booth.
Nice.
Come harass you at the Antarctic Press booth.
Antarctic Press, yes.
Yes.
All right, Jay.
UnstoppableComics.com. You can find all of my social media links on the website. Then on Friday nights, you can find me with this guy and then with this guy on Comic Book Streamland on YouTube, just talking shit to each other, right? And talk about more comic book stuff. Oh my god! You know, I'm never gonna retitle the stream Laser Blast. I'm not. Okay, it's just not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. But yeah, that's been it became a callback, and now it's just a running joke, and now it's just
taking on life of its own, huh?
It's taking on life of its own, man. So yeah, if you want to see it continue to grow, check us out Friday nights, Comic Book Streamland on YouTube, where we're just busting each other's balls, right? You're a fly on the wall at BarCon. That's what we're talking about, right? So yeah, that's where we're at. And then Sundays here with this guy.
Yes. All right, so real quick, I'm going to pop this up. This is a friend of the show's. This is Carlos's campaign currently running, Carlos Rafael.
Oh, okay.
This is Pandora's Army. Another 27 days. You know, he's been out of the game for a little bit, so you know, I just want to show him a little bit of love. You know, go support Pandora's Army. It's like, I know it's a kid's book, and it looks like a lot of fun, so go check it out. It's currently on Kickstarter, all right? So go check that out.
But is he indie?
Nice.
Yes, I think so. And then real quick, another one. This is Rod Espinosa's book. It's up in pre-launch, so you can sign up for it. This is for Adventure Finders. This is a 5-issue limited. This is 5 issues of his long-running webcomic. So the first 5 issues put together in a trade paperback, so you'll be able to check that out as a whole. So you can sign up for that now. So there you go. All right. And I'm JD Calderon. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all those places. Sunday nights here, Friday nights with that goofball. And yes. And just remember, everybody, check out the show notes. In the show notes are the links to all of these creators' campaigns. Please click on those links, buy those books, because these books are awesome books. These are all impassioned creators. They all want to be, they all want you to be entertained. Right, that's what we're here for, right? We want to entertain the fans. So please go check out those books, buy those books, and remember, read more indie comics, especially ours. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Later.
Peace.